Hello, this is Alex from the National Weather Service in Pocatello with your Southeast Idaho weather hazard briefing for Tuesday, February 12th. Well, there's a lot to talk about for this briefing as we have the potential for high impact event, particularly on Wednesday and possibly even into Thursday. So let's get into some of the details. For tonight, snow will begin across the Sawtooth and the Wood River Valley, and by late night into the eastern Magic Valley, upper Snake Plain, and upper Snake Highlands, so Island Park along the Montana border. Late tonight, Wednesday, heavy snow is expected across the Sawtooth and Wood River Valley, getting into Craters of the Moon, also extending up along the Island Park area, Continental Divide area. And then we also have the potential later in the day, Wednesday, say late morning and early afternoon, for some heavier snow to develop along and south of the Interstate 86 corridor, south to Utah. And then we're expecting an overall decreasing trend in the snowfall Wednesday night. Thursday, it looks like potentially another round of possibly moderate snow in the mountains. And we're also expecting a changeover to rain. Looks like maybe later Wednesday night across the eastern Magic Valley, Snake Plain. And then back to snow later Thursday night as some cold air works in. And we'll show you those details as we go forward here. Here's a look at the planning timeline. Again, as we get into Wednesday, these areas in red is where we expect the potential for high impact. So that's mostly Sawtooth, Wood River Valley, Central Mountains, in the Island Park area, where there is the potential, a pretty strong potential for heavy snow on Wednesday. A little less confident in the heavy snow potential for the Teton Valley, Southeast Highlands, Bear Lake area, and the Albion Mountains and South Hills, although heavy snow is possible Wednesday late morning into the afternoon. We can't rule out a period of heavier snow either Wednesday morning across the Snake Plain, especially north of Pocatello towards Idaho Falls and north of Burley towards Shoshone as well. But overall, we think the potential for heavy snow is a little bit less for those areas. And you can see Thursday with that second wave. Now, there is still the potential for brief heavy snow, but overall, we think the snowfall rates will be a bit less on Thursday. We'll also have wind to deal with, blowing snow issues, particularly along the 86 corridor. And as we get into Wednesday, we expect some stronger winds to develop. So as you get farther north, we do expect some fairly widespread blowing and drifting snow once again for maybe I-15 north of DuBois, Highway 20 from the Ashton Hill north, Highway 33 and 34. Many of the same areas that have experienced issues Sunday and as well as Monday could once again experience issues with blowing snow. And then precipitation does wind down as we get into Friday, although there will still be some snow showers around. Same for Saturday, and then some colder air will build back in Saturday, and we should see temperatures falling back below freezing for all areas. Okay, getting into some of the details, this is the 6-hour snowfall forecast. As we get into this evening, the forecast is from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Most of this will be falling after 9 p.m. as we'll see in the forecast radar here in a bit. But notice how things really ramp up overnight, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning now. This is Wednesday morning. So getting into some of these blues, 3 to 4 inches in a 6-hour block across the Wood River Valley from Haley north to Stanley. And also up around Island Park, some similar snowfall rates. Going through the day on Wednesday, that heavier snow expands really in these dark blues across the southern highlands, all of the eastern highlands, Island Park, still continuing across the Sawtooth and Wood River Valley as well. And then we start to see some diminishing trend for the Sawtooth, Wood River Valley, Craters of the Moon area, but the heavy snow continuing and even redeveloping Wednesday night across the Southeast Highlands, Bear Lake Valley. And that does continue Wednesday night into Thursday morning before things begin to gradually taper off as we go through the day Thursday. And I wanted to show you briefly here the forecast radar. And I'm starting it off around 9 p.m. This evening, and that's when we'll start to see the impactful snow move into the Wood River Valley and Sawtooth. We'll step this forward here. Again, the darker the blues, the heavier the snow. Greens as we start getting into some rain, although I do think it'll be colder than this. I think we're still going to be looking at all snow across all of southern and eastern Idaho Tuesday night. and we'll show you that in a bit. Again, I think this will be mostly snow at this point. So going through Wednesday night, you can see that snow expanding Tuesday night rather into Wednesday morning. So here's 10 a.m., 11 a.m., noon Wednesday. All of these areas in the blue are expecting to see snow, possibly heavy at times. And as we go into Wednesday evening now, I do think this rain is real, so I think that's good. A good accurate representation of our expectations. Starting to change over to rain in Twin Falls, Burley, possibly even up to Pocatello as well as we get into Wednesday evening. Let's show you the forecast total snowfall. This is from Tuesday evening all the way through Wednesday evening. Again, there's some additional snow is expected on Thursday, but this is when the brunt of the snow will fall. So in the foot to foot and a half range for the Wood River Valley, Sawtooth, Camas Prairie, even the Island Park region, south to Pine Creek Pass, a little less across the Teton Valley, and even some hefty amounts across the southern highlands here down towards Bear Lake. In terms of temperatures, we will see that gradual warming trend as we get into the eastern Magic Valley and southern Snake Plain, especially as we get later into the day on Wednesday when we expect that change over to rain. Generally in these areas here is where that rain changeover should occur. Thursday, some pretty similar temperatures, but you can see that cooling trend gradually as we get into Friday and particularly Saturday. Saturday, most areas back below freezing. Low temperatures for Wednesday morning, below freezing most areas, close to it though across the southern Snake Plain and eastern Magic Valley. Some of those areas staying near freezing Wednesday night and into Thursday, but again the cooling trend there represented in the low temperatures as well, particularly as we get into Saturday morning. Now we will have winds to deal with. Blowing snow has been an ongoing issue, particularly along the 86 corridor out towards Craters, Highway 33 and 34. Most of those winds will continue, but they should be strongest along the 86 corridor all the way through the event. We get into the warmer air, they may cut down on the blowing snow issues for the 86 corridor, but likely see the blowing snow issues continue for all the other areas. I mentioned that potential for Wednesday, particularly, Monida Pass, DuBois North, Ashton Hill North. There'll be plenty of wind in those areas. Same thing with Highway 33 through Teutonia, 34 from Ashton, Warm River. Plenty of wind, plenty of blowing snow for those areas as well. The wind does taper off for those areas somewhat Thursday, but it continues across the southern Snake Plain, eastern Magic Valley, and with the breeziness going all the way through Friday. Here's a look at the precipitation type forecast in these blues. That's where we expect snow. So as we get into Wednesday, 11 p.m. to 5 a.m., we start to see that transition over to mixed and even some rain Wednesday night into Thursday morning. But as the cold air works in, we start to change things back over to all snow as we go later into the day Thursday. Well, that'll conclude the briefing for today. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or feedback, we welcome that to the phone number or email address you see there. Thank you.